What's up, good people? Hope y'all in the mood. Hope you're ready to have some fun. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, and welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review. Present Let's Talk Houston Rockets. As you see, I'm ready to drink. Get my drink on. My cup is ready. Correct Cuts. How you doing? Long time no see. It's been a while. It's been a while for you, man, because the last two nights we had some LTHR additions mixed up a little bit. Thursday night, we looked at the Rocket schedule for October and November. Then Friday night, we looked at the games in December. I like this. The vibe is real. The vibe is good. Feeling nice. Indeed. Feeling real good. In the paraphrase, I think a line from Platoon, feeling good is good enough. Indeed. All right. If you missed it, recap to any family members who weren't unable or were busy, or because I've kind of flipped the script and had two shows prior to tonight's show. We'll take a recap for Correct Cuts to look at October and November. Steven been ready. He's been here. He got to see Steven. It's the vibe. It's the weekend, y'all. It's the weekend. Got the cup ready. My old brain just finished setting up a TikTok account for folks talking sports, but it's Rocket time. So, Steven, bear with me for a few moments to catch Correct Cuts up on the schedule. And let me pull it up myself so I can take a look at the poll. And kudos to my man A.D. Moore, who had his recap of the Texans preseason game minutes before this. Hope you had a chance to catch that. Yes, that is still part of the Houston Roundball Review show. The media group branches out. That's what we do here. But the poll question is on the screen on YouTube for you to participate in. How many wins do you predict the Rockets to get in January? 17 games. We got 6-10, leads the way with 75%, 11-15, 25%. The other two options, 0-5, and then really high end, 16 or 17. So practically a perfect month if you're going with 17. Yeah. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. It's hot. So we're drinking and enjoying life. Trying to just get the vibe going. I got me an adult beverage in my cup. I'm not sure anybody else is drinking. And after that Texas, all I saw, what was the last score I saw? Was it 28? Dolphins had 28. And I know the Texans didn't have more than, what, I don't know, 7? I don't know, but it wasn't 28. I know that. But Correct Cuts, real quick. Let me put it up here. October and November. Look at it. These 16 games. Tell me what you think. And X-Ray 5, you too. Look at those 16 games right there and just shout them out. Give me a record. Because pretty much, Derek, how you doing as well? But any folks who were not able to join us on Thursday for this discussion about October, November, take a quick look at the screen. The consensus was pretty much 8-8. I think we had an outlier of 11-5, and that was before folks took a look at the schedule. And I learned a new trick here as well. So if that's too small, let me know, Deverick, Correct Cuts, and I'll switch the screens again so you can see it. But just briefly, look at that. Rockets open the season at Orlando on the 25th, and then at the Spurs, and then get a nice, good homestand. Good homestand. All right, Correct Cuts says Orlando win, Spurs win, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all losses. All right, and we may get one. Oh, just for the whole month? Give me the whole month. I hope that's not it, in your opinion, or it might be for the first 16. But like I said, the consensus pretty much from the family member was 8-8 for the first month. No one said gloom and doom of 5, less than 6 wins. No one had in that first category 0-5. Nope, nothing that bad. So what do you say? 8-8, 6-10. Anybody going high, getting double-digit wins in October, November? I don't see that, but that's you do you. All right, he's got 7-9. So Derek, sorry, 7-9. That's fair. I think with the new staff, new players, guys learning the rotation, learning each other, it's a filling out process. So should be some bumps and bruises, and it's a hell of a schedule, opponents wise. Hold on, that's too many games there. That's 20 games. That's 20. It's 16 games in October, November. So 8-8. So we got 7-9 and 8-8. That's fair. So X-Ray, you going 12-4? You the outlier. You part of the outlier. You going 12 wins. You are the outlier. You're the one. You are the one. Okay, December's a little different. December's unique because it is December 4th through 9th is part of the in-season tournament. Will be at least 2 games in those few days, those 6 days. And so if by some chance, which I don't believe they will, but if some chance the Rockets qualify and reach the championship game of the in-season tournament, that would be a 3rd game, part of that December 4th through 9th time frame. So disregard all that I said. So just the games you see on the screen, it's 12. How many games do you predict the Rockets will win out of that 12? So out of that 12, and again, roughly pretty much 500, 6-6. No one lost their minds with 10 wins, anything like that. I'm not even sure anybody got above 8 wins last night picking for December. Actually, I think the high end was 7 wins. The low was 3. So the range was 3-7. 3-7. And Steven, I already had jokes starting last night, and I'm sure you got jokes again for January. So Steven's got 6-6, correct cuts, 4-8. December's rough. That's tough. But for the folks who did not participate last night live, a lot of the family picked the Rockets to win at Cleveland. Matchup wise, my issue with that was it's the second night of back-to-back because they play at Milwaukee the night before. But a lot of kinfolk said the Rockets will win at Cleveland. So Terry, join the I know Terry's a drinker. So I'm assuming Terry's like me, X-Ray, and Steven, got his cup already and getting his drink on. If not, shame on you, Terry. And what happened to you if you're not drinking with us? But yeah, see, I'm leaning more like this. I just don't see matchup wise, and obviously, flip it up. Clearly, it's contingent on injury status, and I'm not sure of the back-to-back status of the Rockets' opponents. This is just stuff we're looking at, focusing on the Rockets. So now we're going to get into tonight's discussion. 17 games in the month of January. First game is New Year's night against Oscar Thompson's team. Yes, the Detroit Pistons. 7 p.m. So take a look at it. 17 games. 17 games, first off, home against Detroit. Then Wednesday the 3rd against Brooklyn. Friday, so they start off January with 4 home games. Detroit, Brooklyn, Minnesota, Milwaukee. And then they go on the road for 1, 2, 3, was that 6 in a row? Ooh, boy, 6 in a row. See, all y'all got jokes, but it's good. There you go, Terry. There you go. Cheers. Well, I better slow down, man. Let me slow down. I'm taking too many sips here. First 10 minutes of the show. Pace myself. Not as young as I used to be. All right. That road trip at Chicago on Wednesday, Friday at Detroit. Detroit is in bold because it is the only ESPN game for both the Rockets and Detroit. December 12th, Rockets have 3 or 4 games on NBA TV, but just one, as of right now, just one game on ESPN, and it is at Detroit on January 12th. And clearly, that is a game that the Pistons will win because it's a home game and it's part of their development. They should win their home games. Just saying. But part of that, the road trip. It's all good. Ain't no worries at all, man. It's all good in the hood. There's no worries whatsoever. I expect most of y'all Rocket fans. So I expect most of y'all to pick the Rockets to beat the Pistons, clearly. So that's no worries whatsoever. But as I've said before, let me enlarge the screen here before we get back to the schedule. If the Rockets and the Pistons should meet in the NBA Finals at any point, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, if it ever takes place, and we're still above ground, that matchup, I love y'all, but we're going to be talking junk that whole series. And if Detroit wins that championship matchup, y'all, I'm going to be unbearable. I'm just going to give you all of y'all kinds of grief. So just let's be clear on that. And I expect the same. I expect nothing less from y'all to give me the stuff as well. So let's be clear. All right. Back to the lecture at hand. That road trip at the Bulls, at the Pistons, at the Celtics, at Philly. I'm kind of curious what Philly's going to be. I don't, who knows? At the Knicks. That's tough. Then they come home for Utah, Boston, and Portland. Wonder if Dame will still be a Blazer. Unlikely, but who knows? At Charlotte on January 26th. At Brooklyn on the 27th. Then close out the month of January with the Lakers at home on the 29th, and then the Pelicans home on the 31st. So we got, let's see. Correct Cut says 6-11. He's on it. He got the homework done. Wins being versus Detroit, Minnesota, Portland, the Knicks, Brooklyn, and the Pelicans. He says maybe 7-10. So see the Rockets beating the Bulls. What say you, Terry? Everybody's working hard in the offseason. I mean, this is this job. They need to be working hard in the offseason. They better. They're getting paid to work. Deverick says he expects more improvement this year under new coach and staff. Agreed. This is not the same team the last. Agreed. Correct Cut says January is not a bad month. Nice schedule to get 8 in a rhythm. You saying all that? You still only got them 7-10? Sam, I'm using your word. All right. Off-season chemistry. It's a lot to like. It is a lot to like. There's a lot of positives. Agreed. There's a lot of positives. Improved depth is key. Steven says 9 out of 17. So that's 9-8 with 2 wins against Detroit and Brooklyn. So sweeping them. So that's 4 of the 9. That would surprise me. I don't see that happening. All 4. I could see Rockets sweeping Detroit, but not Brooklyn. Yep. And let me know. Well, hold up. It's good. You are a realist, and you are on the 33 wins consistently. And who was that? I think WK was on your train last night. WK, I think, predicted 33 wins for the Rockets this coming season. Kris, yeah. Well, okay. I'm going to mention it. Let me know if y'all did not already see the video I posted this morning about Jock Landale with his injury update. for the most part, I think most fans, objective Rocket fans, not the ones crossing their fingers and toes, think the Rockets will start the season rough, slow, because of everybody being new style, new offense, new defense, new teammates, new coaches, all of that, new system, everything. So I'm going to put it up here. Have y'all seen the injury, the ankle, what it looked like? Look at that. That's how Jock ankle looked when he rolled it, when he landed on the foot of the opponent. That's a nasty injury right there. That is a rough. No wonder he was in a lot of pain. Clearly, he was in a whole bunch of pain. So that is a nasty ankle sprain. And that was the 17th in Australia. So that'd still be the 16th here, I believe. Right, Terry? Y'all are a day ahead over there. So I think that game against South Sudan was on the 17th there, so 16th here. He had the MRI, and Jock had a picture posted with an update on his Instagram account. And I'm learning how to add more content to the show, different flavor. So there he is, lounging with the foot wrapped, the left foot wrapped. And you see that's a post from him, the comment from him. My MRI results are back and I'll be good as gold. Nothing too serious. Just going to need a bit of time on this one. See you in a Houston Rockets jersey soon. And a Boomers one come Paris 2024 Olympics. So soon is not a timetable. It's not based in weeks. But training camp is in a few weeks here in H-Town, late September, first couple of days in October, depending on if teams have overseas trips. So roughly 6 weeks for him to heal that ankle, take care of himself, and go from there. The medical staff won't rush him back, need him ready for the season. Not in the early part of October. Well, I'm going to comment on this right here. Christian Wood's available. See Wood, unless he got signed today, he's available. A name mentioned last night was Taco Fall. Boban's available. Jock Landale being injured now and not getting reps in practice will be a hindrance. But I'm not sure, unless the diagnosis is really long-term, which Rockets have not released or announced any medical updates about him. This is all from Jock Landale, this injury update from him. So there's not a concern yet. There's nothing from the medical staff. Obviously, he hasn't met with the Rockets medical staff since he got injured. So once he gets here, I assume that the Boomers medical people have been in touch with the Rockets and have probably sent the MRI results to the Rockets medical staff so they can look at it, discuss treatment plans, treatment options, things like that to make sure he's good. He's going through the right regimen to improve, heal, and then once he gets to Houston, the staff here will do the rest. So, I was being funny when I said Seawood. All right, here we go. With Justin, I'll say this again if it hasn't already been said. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that too if y'all want to, because James came up in conversation a few times, Friday and Thursday. Thank you, Udoka, for not bringing Harden back. We don't need that circus around the young ones. Agreed. Terry is saying hell no to me about C. Wood. And then Correct Cut says, oh, God, not Willie. Devrick says no twin twigs from C. Wood. Correct Cuts, no taco, no C. Wood, no thank you, Boban. Let's get real. I'd rather have Bruno back. Bruno was another name that was brought up last night. And obviously he's not a big man, but y'all saw Ty was cut by OKC yesterday. So, and let's talk about this a little bit because it's still a Rocket show, and James is not a Rocket, thank goodness. ESPN, I think it was Woj and Ramona Shelburne, I think it was them in their article, was that the source or sources, I'm getting confused. ESPN, either ESPN and The Athletic said different things. One source, one outlet said James would report to camp. The other outlet said James had no plans to report to camp. Well, James, in order to be a free agent next summer, cannot miss more than 30 days of training camp. That is in the collective bargaining agreement. So a player last year, based from last season, going into final season's contract, all those things, cannot miss more than 30 days of training camp. Now, the team, his current team, could say, okay, and say, yeah, we're not that mad that you missed all of camp, so we're still going to allow you to be a free agent next summer. I don't think Philly's going to be that team. So James is smart. He knows the system. He'd do like Steven says right here. Be 29 days, miss 29 days, and say, oh yeah, here. Hey, I'm back. How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm back. How y'all doing? But yeah, James is in town. James is in Houston. This is his James Harden weekend. So yeah, he's here in town. He got here Thursday. Talked to my colleague Jason Bristol. And did I post it? I meant to, if I didn't. Posted in the YouTube comment section on the channel. It was an exclusive Jason had with James. So James is in town. He's in town Thursday. They were at Jack Yates High School. So clearly, James and his people called Bristol to stop by to get comments from James about everything, what's going on about the event. And Jason Bristol asked James if he believes that basically if the relationship with Philly could be repaired. And James said no. He thinks it's done. And we'll see. We'll see. That's all I'll say. Tony M being consistent. Tony, I'm not sure if you're a drinker, but salute. Join the family. Join me, Terry, X-Ray, Stephen. Salute. So screw James. Glad it ain't us. Ha ha. Harden and Morey deserve each other. Then there we go. That is key right there. They do deserve each other. Because we get into this, and then Jaymon, I see you as well. Do you think Harden feels some type of way he didn't go back to Houston? Steven feels like he really wanted to come, and Rockets are like, no, we good. That statement, then Jaymon's question, why did he opt into the contract if he didn't want to play for Philly? That's going into from James' perspective, what Daryl Morey promised. James going public, calling Daryl Morey a liar, and now the league is looking into it. What did Daryl Morey say to James? Did Daryl Morey say to James, I am going to trade you to the Clippers? And then say it later on, the offers in return aren't good enough. We're going to hold on to you now. Was James saying that? Daryl's a liar? I mean, that's business. Hey. Or is James saying, I gave y'all back $14 million last summer. I expected to get paid this summer. Daryl told me he'd take care of me. That's a little different. Now, unless that is anything written down, it's just he said kind of stuff. That's hard to prove. Very hard to prove. Justin is on point. I said this in a YouTube clip. I went on none. I maintained, I think I said it last night or Thursday. Daryl Morey's part of the James Harden monster that grew and ate Houston. As James ate his way, complained, bitched his way out of Houston. Daryl's part of that. Tad Brown's part of that. So James is James. What he said to Jason Bristol in the exclusive interview, it seemed like like a different dude. How much love he has for the city of Houston, why he's doing the weekend, feeding 4,000 families, providing backpacks and school supplies for school kids. He loves Houston because they took him in when he first got to Houston. He's not going to forget that bond. It's like a different guy than the guy who cried his way out of a lot of places in the last 4 years. So, hey. Oh, that I'm not sure. I'm not sure the clips that we've seen. I'm not sure if there is a clip showing the question that led to James calling Daryl a liar. That I don't know. But I mean, he said those words in China. Daryl Morey's name in China is still pretty much mud. So, and we can get into this stuff because keep in mind, y'all know it. Y'all are Rocket fans, smart Rocket fans. Y'all read, follow social media, read articles, follow the NBA. In December, when Woj said, was one of the first people or the first person to say that practically the entire NBA expects James Harden to sign with the Rockets. That report statement kind of caused waves in Houston, across the NBA. What the hell does that mean? Is there a promise? And then it kind of died down rather quickly because there were some hints at or discussions that Daryl Morey is like, oh, so the Rockets are tampering with my player in December. Well, if they do that, then I'm going to file a complaint with the NBA. That scuttlebutt kind of kicked around. Then, around that same time, Kelly Iko with 7 out of 10 chance James is going to come to Houston. We hinted at that. Word finally came out. One of the reasons for that high percentage was because of the health issues that James's mom is dealing with, and best treatment is in Houston. That kind of died. But I don't know if the audio is still good. But y'all remember this not too long ago? Well, not long ago now, but before free agency started, Wendy, not Wimby, Wendy, Brian Windhorst said this to Bomani Jones on, I think, their podcast.
Just the whole thought I have as I see through all of this, like the talent is spread out enough and there's just enough parity that everybody can really trick themselves into what might be some horrible ideas.
Yeah, I mean, paying James Harden $50 million a year over 4 years, which is what it seems like there appears to be an appetite for. I mean, it's insane.
So, in case y'all forgot that, Wimby said that there was an appetite for paying James Harden $50 million a year for 4 years. A lot of folks down here thought that was the Rockets, referring to the Rockets. Was it in reference to the Sixers? Because once the Rockets re-signing James kind of died down, nearly everybody in the league thought Philly was going to re-sign James for big time money. And then, days before free agency begins, James, I guess Daryl Morey and the ownership said, no, we're not doing that. James discovered he's not going to get his huge payday and then opted into the last year of his contract so he could be free agent next summer. There's some strange stuff going on, but we'll see. He ain't a Rocket. That's what I know, and I'm not sad about it. I am not sad about it. Rockets did dodge a bullet. And maybe I know Jackson Gatlin, he and I kind of had differ on this a while ago. Because for a while, I said Tillman loved stars and wanted James back on the team. And I was concerned that Tillman would not listen to everybody else within the organization and want to sign James for that huge fat ass contract. And Jackson said, no, I think Tillman's going to listen to everybody in the organization. And turns out, thank goodness he did. So James is stuck. What a shame. What a shame. So and I'd say yeah to that. Correct cuts, but everybody was saying that. It wasn't just Wendy. I heard it. Mark Stein said it. Eco talked about it. Everybody expected James to get a huge contract. And for a while, we thought that'd be the Rockets. And thank goodness Tillman got some sense. or listen to everybody else said, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because even on a Let's Talk Houston Rockets with, I think, Adam Spolin and Jackson Gatlin, two different ones, the two of them were, I think I even said it, were rationalizing and would be okay with it if it was just a 2-year deal to sign James to a huge contract, because you got to use that cap room. A 2-year deal, basically be 1-year deal, and then the second year you could trade him, create cap space. I was okay with 2 years, but when the discussion rumors about 4 years, I was like, hell no, hang up the phone. Nope. 4 years, that much money? Nope. Hang up the phone. Justin brings up a good point that some folks said at the time, early July. Well, if the Rockets would have won the lottery, things may have changed. But I maintain all the while, nowhere in the world I would have wanted James Harden to mentor Wemby. And I know what folks are saying, how he's done a good job with younger players, at other stops and all that. It's still James. James still James. And at some point, James is going to James. So, but in this is true, but that y'all know I disagree with that from the jump when they first got kicked around, because when we were in the locker room, we never saw anything like that. Now, John Wall shed some light on it after the fact. But of course, I was doing a lot of time during COVID. We didn't get a chance to go in the locker room and see and interact with the players that way. I agree with this. I think Joel Embiid is like, yeah, get me out of here. get me out of here. That was part of the discussion Friday night. Should the Rockets trade for Joel Embiid? Joel says, I want out of Philly. The consensus was no, hell no, don't do that either. It would take too much for the Rockets to give up to get Joel, and by the time, if anything came back, Joel would not have any teammates worth anything. So Steven says he thinks Scoot will win Rookie of the Year over Wemby. And Steven, I'm going to ask you, will the Rookie of the Year for this season put up great stats and still be on the worst team in the NBA? Or will the Rookie of the Year put up good stats and help his team at minimum get to the play-in or sniff the play-in? What say you, Steven? Sensational stats, but the team doesn't win 20 games. Or solid stats, but helps his team get to the play-in. Great stats and bad team. All right. Yeah, well, that'll be Scoot. That should be Scoot and Wemby. I'm not sure Brandon Miller put up great stats. Team would be bad, I think. And the Twins, they won't play enough for either the Rockets or Detroit to put up great stats. Jabari for most improved. That was brought up Friday night. I think many Rocket fans are hyped about that possibility. I believe Jabari is going to take a big step forward this season on both ends of the floor and help the Rockets win more games. That's a great trade, Tony. Leave Embiid where he at unless they want Tate straight up. That'd be a great trade. Joel Embiid for Jayshawn Tate. Jabari or Şengün. I think, Steve, you brought up LP for possibly most improved. Chet might win Rookie of the Year. How about that, Steven? Do you think about him? You forget about Chet? Well, Chet wouldn't be on a bad team. OKC should be solid again. So I wasn't thinking about him, though, in my scenario. That's possible. But yeah, Jabari would like to be most improved player. It's a good goal to have. I have one of my friends watching, and she's texting me. I don't know why she's texting me rather than just participating in the conversation. Asking how long will the show last. We talked about Tata just briefly. Let's see, WK. Thank you very much. Has a first-round pick that hasn't had a shot, in my opinion, ever been given up on sooner. How long did it take for was it Anthony Bennett? Him? He was number one pick, right? It is, right. I'm talking about Anthony Bennett, right? Anthony Bennett. I mean, he was out the league with the quickness, it seemed like. And so But I think Ty and his agents, his representatives, need to study the NBA landscape, see which teams are lacking at point guard, especially point guard depth, and shoot a shot. Go to that team. Don't go to a team like had a fan say, come back to the Rockets. Too many guards here, too many point guards. Doesn't make sense for him to do that. Just try to latch on with a team that's young and needs point guards. They're still out there. Don't give up on your dream. He's too young for that. Wish him well. Keep grinding. He might have to go overseas, prove his worth, and then come back. It's rare, but it's happened. Oh, Jalen is done. Jalen and Cade, the select team is done. They did their job, basically. They helped the USA national team get better, work on things, work on defending, screen and roll, pick and roll. So yeah, select team is done. And Jalen and Cade were teammates in the backcourt. Most of that time, Cade had the ball in his hand, and sometimes Jalen ran the offense, mixing things up a little bit. Can I think Ty can still play in the G League? Yeah. Let's see. It's all running together. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah. Ty to Utah. A backup point. Yeah. Ty's not. No one's going to give him a starting point guard shot. No. So, Oos. I think Oos still there at OKC. Good point, Justin. Brandon Jennings overseas. PJ. Yeah. He might have to. Ty just might have to give it a shot. First, give it a shot. Still an NBA shot. Go to a team that needs a point guard, needs point guard depth. Then if it doesn't work, go overseas. Play great overseas. And then come back. Try to come back. You know, okay, see, that trade, he was included for salary purposes and all. OKC, I mean, what? OKC still has maybe 19 players still on the roster, maybe. I think at one point they had 21, which is one more that you can have for training camp. So, hey, too many dudes, too many bodies. And that's a good option for Ty right there. He can go to the NBL. That's a good league, good pro league, getting better, gaining more and more respect, and preparing guys for the NBA, younger players. So that's an option. And it's a good point Justin brings up again. Ty, he probably, and he came out of Kentucky with bad ankles. You know, so he wasn't healthy when he left college. So he came out with questions, and he's not tall. Folks who had questions about his role or how he was utilized at Kentucky. So different things. So right now it looks like he got bad advice and took bad advice, but it's not over. All right, this question here. Let me see. I'm still blah about the in-season tournament. I kind of understand it. I don't know about better than most, but I understand it. And I can pull up the slides to explain it. Glad you asked. Here we go. Let me shift that. There we go. Well, let me go here first. This is the 6 groups for the NBA in-season tournament. The Rockets are in West Group B. That includes Denver, the Clippers, New Orleans, and the Mavs. So the Rockets group play schedule for the NBA in-season tournament. Pelicans come to H-Town on November 10th. And I'll go into explainer in just a minute. But Pelicans and Rockets on the 10th. Rockets at Clippers on the 17th. Nuggets at Rockets on the 24th. Then Rockets at Mavs on the 28th. So in November, Tuesdays and Fridays in November are NBA in-season games. There is an info take place. So it's November 3rd through 28th. All the games are Tuesdays and Fridays. And those Tuesdays and Fridays in November are only group play games. Each team will play 4 designated group play games in that month, 1 game against each opponent in its group. 2 at home, 2 on the road, as you saw. 8 teams, 4 per conference, will advance from group play into the second stage of the in-season tournament, the knockout rounds. The advancing teams will be the 6 group winners and 2 wild cards. And that'll be the wild cards will be the team from each conference with the best record in group play games that finish second in its group. And there will be tiebreaker procedures for that. Trust me. The knockout rounds will consist of single elimination games in the quarterfinals, taking place December 4th and December 5th. Semifinals, December 7th, and the championship game Saturday, December 9th. Quarterfinals will be played in the NBA team cities, while the semifinals and title game will take place at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The 67 games across both stages of the in-season tournament will count. It's important. Will count toward the regular season standings, except the championship. Each team will continue to play 82 regular season games in the season, including those games that are part of group play and the knockout rounds. And that is the Rockets' schedule for that week, December 4th through December 9th. When we have the schedule, let me pull that up here. That's why the schedule is listed like that. So 2 games, minimum 2 games would be taking place the 4th through the 9th, and that's based on how the Rockets do. Either they win the group and they advance, or they are part of the knockout rounds, and those 2 games are just part of their regular season. So it still counts toward the regular season. The 2 teams in the in-season championship game will play an 83rd game. But those stats won't count toward the regular season. But the money will. The winning team, the players will each get $500,000. So nice hunk of change. $500,000, and I think it's right. It doesn't make sense if it is. I think the second place team each gets $250,000, but I want to say it's $100,000. That's what I heard. That doesn't make sense, but it's not. I think the pay should be more, but it's not my money. I'm curious to see how many of the older players will bust their butts just to win $500,000. Well, no, excuse me. The older elite players, the guys like Steph Curry, who are getting $40, $50 million per season, will be like, whatever, $500,000, yawn. So we'll see. I'm where Steven's going with that. It won't matter much to them at all. But the younger dudes, the guys who are not on those max contracts, super max contracts, who was it? Bobby Marks, ESPN's Bobby Marks said that 2/3 of the NBA makes 1 million. The average salary is like 1 million to 10 million, roughly like that, maybe 1 to 12 million. And then the remaining 33% is 25, 30. And then you got the 40, 50 million per. So, man. But yep, $500,000 for the team that wins the championship game. It's some money. I'm not. Part of this will come down to how self-motivated the guys are. Younger players, look at this opportunity to shine, get better, and earn some extra money. Older, wealthier players, I got $500,000 in my sock. Whatever. I need the rest. It could be examples like this with load management for some players. We'll see. And correct cuts, yeah, it's funny how both y'all thought of Kawhi. So we'll see. But I want to say, yeah, this like 15 to 20% make 15 to 20 million, and then you got 10% make higher. But the majority of the NBA players do not make $15 million per. It's still a hell of a lot of money for us. And when the new TV deal comes out, Justin, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But when the new TV deal is agreed upon and the salary cap increases, at some point in the future, the Supermax contracts, guys, might be earning $100 million per season. That could be happening. That could be on the horizon. So, hey, train your kids, become NBA players. I like it that it's the reason for it in November is to generate some interest, more interest early in the season. It's still going against NFL. The NFL is still king in America. Heck, NBA games on, what's it, TNT, won't be on Thursday until after the NFL season. They're going to be on Tuesday in the first part of the season because NFL game on Thursday night is taking over TV viewing. And the NBA wants to avoid that. The wording of this 3 superstars, basically 3 max players. Really 3 supermax players. They're making it harder. The league didn't say it, but with the new CBA, the new tax aprons, the second tier is supposed to be so punitive that if you exceed it, you are so limited in player acquisitions that the league believes that would help spread out the talent. And then Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia said, forget all that. I'm not worried about that. And we'll see. The Suns did a good job with their Supermax players, getting young guys, young players, except Eric Gordon, on minimum deals. Time will tell. The Suns are talented. I just believe that the injuries are going to catch up to the guys who have battled injuries the last few years. Dame. Do I think Dame will end up staying in Portland or out by the start of the regular season? Well, it's just August 19th. I'm not giving up on it. But I'm going to say he will still be a Blazer in October. First week or so of the season, he'll still be in Portland. Yep. And by the way, we haven't really got a consensus. So let's go back to the schedule in these last few minutes. What's the consensus? Let me see what the poll says. All right, 75% have in the 6 to 10 range for the Rockets. So what, Justin, what do you say the Rockets record will be in January? Give me your prediction. What say you? Let's see. Stephen, you as well. Terry, you as well. Nothing more about, that's the plan, about the games being on local TV, but no new details have been kicked around, and probably hear more once camp starts and get to spend more time with colleagues. Yeah, Tony. You and Steven, everybody has picked the Rockets to win on January 1st. Everybody on here, all of my Let's Talk Houston Rockets family members have picked the Rockets to win on January 1st. Some family folks have even picked the Rockets to win on January 12th. That's fine. I would not expect anything less from y'all. Greg Cut says Dame ain't going back. Made up his mind. Like he may want to be with Jimmy. I'm just not sure a deal will be done by the start of the season. I believe he will leave Portland is inevitable. I'm just not sure it will happen by the start of the season. And heck, things could change quickly on a dime once camp starts. See, yeah, that's okay. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good, Tony. Easy dub, Greg Cuts. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, y'all got jokes. It's fine. It's fine. No worries. But I'll say this: if Detroit wins one of those games, if Detroit sweeps, which I'm not expecting them to do, but if they sweep, y'all don't be strangers. don't go away. Don't ghost me. You're still part of the family. If Detroit sweeps, which I'm not expecting, but if, that's a big if that happens, y'all come back. Don't go to the Rocket only perspectives on social media. Just saying. Steven, Portland calls Miami, says he wants Bam. Miami says no, take Tyler Hero. Yeah. That's not, there's got to be a third team involved. I just don't see how what's being discussed, kicked around so far, is going to work. I just don't see it. I just don't. Sorry. So somebody's going to blink and no, I just don't see that happening. I don't see Portland saying, "Oh yeah, we'll take Tyler Hero." Sure. No. Oh, come on, J-Mon. You're not serious, are you? It ain't that bad. It's not that bad. I think Detroit's going to be improved, but I'm not picking them to beat the Rockets. I'm not sure I'd pick Detroit to sweep anybody. Although, what was it, 2 years ago? They swept the Warriors, 2 matchups, but they swept the Warriors. Go figure that. I think that's right, yeah. The year the Warriors won their last championship, Detroit beat them twice. I think that's right. Yep. Yeah. Oh, okay. Y'all getting all into it now. We stand on it. Motorcade ain't gonna have a broken motor versus Jalen. Calls mechanic. Houston got a problem. Tony agrees with J-Mon. It's that bad, man. Fans are fans. There's not much difference between Detroit fans and Rocket fans. It's not much different. I bet you 99% of the Detroit fans. Rocket games, that's 2 dubs. Oh, yeah, that ain't gonna be no problem at all, man. I don't know worries whatsoever. Rocket fans, get Detroit. Oh, that's 2 dubs. No worries. Mark those down. Check. No different. I hope not. I hope not, Terry. I was gonna come to the forefront. I hope not. Oh, boy. It's good to laugh about that. So it's fun. All right, let me go back up here. But it looks like most of the family has the Rockets under 500 in January. Because even Stevens 5-8, 8 wins will make them 8-9 in January. Where's the question? No, Steven, he's not. I agree with Justin. Y'all know I agree with Justin. I said it 2 years ago that I believe Rockets in Detroit are on the right trajectory, especially now they got, I believe, the right head coaches in charge for both franchises to meet in the finals in about 4 or 5 years. I still believe that. Yep. To be rivals, they'd have to meet probably more than once in the finals because it's hard to be rivals West East because you only play each other twice. Unless something petty happens between them, because I think Cade and Jalen have kind of squashed their beef. I think that's done. So I might be wrong. Spending time. Oh, who was it? Asking a new kinfolk in his final moments. Any of you concerned that about the possibility that the time Jalen spent with the national team and the select team could hurt the Rockets when Jalen becomes a free agent? And, in that setting, players talk. Hey, man, we could work. We could win a chip together. Just keep that in mind in a year. Don't forget about me. That kind of stuff. Any of y'all have that concern with the time, just because of the time he spent with USA Basketball, the national team, as well as the select team, about just chopping it up? Could be spending time at dinner, practice, whatever. Yeah, man, we're gonna hook up. Let's make that happen. Cade missed 1 year. he missed a month his rookie year because of the ankle, and he played the rest of that season, and then he missed the last 70 games last year. So totally he missed a year. See, scary take. The positive sign, Terry with the positive outlook of it. Jalen might actually recruit players to Houston. I wasn't one who brought up, a Rocket fan brought up the other scenario, the opposite scenario. So, because it has happened. Yeah. And that was the reason why this person brought it up. I think that was WK, but I'm not sure. Tony M, all we got to do is win and keep Harden away. Everyone's going to want to come here. And that's not the case. Hasn't been. And I have an idea of why that's been for the last few years. Why? Well, honestly, before now. I heard it for a few years ago. Elite free agents don't want to come to the Rockets. No taxes. Got a lot of strip clubs. No state taxes. So why not? Franchise takes care of their players. So why was that negative perception, and why did it perpetuate for so long? See, Derek's a good person. That's a good person right there. Derek's a great person. Ask any true Detroit Pistons fan, and that Pistons fan will tell you the greatest team in NBA history is the Bad Boys. Ask any Pistons fan that. Notice what I'm saying. Ask any Pistons fan that, and they will tell you the greatest team in NBA history is the Bad Boys. No doubt. There's no question. No question at all. No doubt. Fair. I think that's possible. We'll see. Coach Udoka's in charge now. We shall see. Let's see. Cade could dream about that one right there. Ant's, I think Ant's got his new deal, or going to get his new deal. It's expected. He's not leaving Minnesota. They're going to give him a fat contract. Same with Detroit and Cade. Not seeing that as well. Tony saying, oh, that's one reason. Ownership was another reason. See what I'm saying? Correct, Cuss. You're missing what I'm saying or what I said. Ask any true Pistons fan, and they will tell you the greatest team in the history of the NBA was the Bad Boys. Ask any Pistons fan that. There's no doubt. Clearly, as Deverick, see? Deverick knows. Deverick is there you go. That's a Bad Boys fan. So, yeah, I can have a video about my reasons for that. Bill Laimbeer folks hated him. But think about it. Bill Laimbeer was the first of the era three-point shooting big man. But all of his cheap shots and mental games and physical, all that kind of stuff, with that high screen and roll with Laimbeer and Isaiah, Laimbeer hit those threes. I'm just saying, that's stretch big, way back when. I'm just saying, that three-guard lineup. Detroit went small ball. The small ball kicked Portland's behind. Small ball. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And see, correct cuts. Steven is a Rocket fan. Will tell you the greatest team in NBA history was that 6-seed Rockets. See, depends on who you ask. There we go. Like you ask any Bulls fan, they'll tell you Michael Jordan and his teams. Blah, 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 on and on and on it goes. Oh, no, we're not delusional. Oh, no, we're not delusional. Cowgirl fans are delusional. They think every year is their year. Yeah, oh no. Dallas fans, oh gosh, they take delusion to a whole nother level. Oh my goodness, no, it's unreal how, I don't know what they drink, because man, all of them drink it. It's just amazing. This is our year. Okay. What happened last year? Oh, that was last year. Oh, no, this is our year. But y'all ain't one. No, this is our, no, whatever. So, but oh yeah, Rick Mahorn. See, Dever got me started now, because Dennis Rodman came off the bench for Detroit for that team. And Detroit's first championship was really the last year of expansion, because Detroit, Rick Mahorn was made available in the expansion draft. That's how deep they were. I mean, they were literally 9-10 deep. It's winning folks in waves. Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Vinnie Johnson. That's the bench. That was the bench. But there we go. Knick fans too. Knick fans delusional. Yep, they sure are. Oh my gosh, yes, they sure are. Yep. This is our year. This is it. Whatever. Y'all ain't won nothing for so long, please. But see, Deverick's doing it. Blame Deverick for steering me down that Detroit Pistons memory lane trip. And I found out at Cougars practice that a colleague is from Detroit and a Bad Boys fan. We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere. But, all right. Anybody got the Rockets winning 10 games in January? Double figures. Double digits. Anybody got the Rockets winning 10 games in January? If you do, give me those 10. Who you got? Who you got? Give me the 10. Correct cuts. How many you got? Justin, Justin, you're that young, man. Golly. Whoa, man. I wasn't born when the NBA was on CBS. Woo, boy, man. Thank you, Justin. Thank you very much, man. For that, I'm going to take a drink. Hey, Terry. Deverick did it. Deverick did it. But anybody got the Rockets winning 10 games in January? Because even if you have the Rockets sweeping Detroit, that's just 2. Where are the other 8 coming from? Where are you going? Where are the other 8? So, Terry, correct cuts. 10 wins. Where are the 10 wins? You got 10 wins or 9? Anybody got 9 wins? Yeah. I think the first 30 games of the season, I got the Rockets right around 14 and 16. Maybe at worst 12 and 18, 12, 13 or 14 for me. Correct cuts 6 and 11 or 7 and 10. Jamon, that's a lot right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 10. So you got 10. All right. He's the one. 10. All right. He's the one. Y'all remember Deverick. Y'all leave Deverick alone. Deverick's my dude now going forward. He's my dude. Okay. X-Ray, how many you got in January for the Rockets? Jamon got 10. Justin has 8. Anybody agreeing with Jamon and those 10? Well, not necessarily those 10. Put it up there one more time. 10. He put the opponents down and everything. So you got those 10. Anybody else seeing 10? Correct cuts. Beating Detroit. He put in all caps with his coming from his chest. The Bulls, Knicks. So you got Detroit twice, right? Correct cuts. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, Terry says 10. Okay. Justin thinks the Rockets will turn it on a little towards the end of the season. I think the Rockets are going to snip the play-in. I do. 36 wins. Won't, in my opinion, that's what I got them capping out at, is 36. That won't be enough because what was it last year? 42. But they'll be late March. Fans will, Rockets are this close to the plan. You know, if things break right, well, you know, I believe. But I don't believe they're going to get there. But the interest will be there. The excitement will be there because the team would have turned a corner. And you can see it's coming. The success is coming. X-Ray got 10. All right. Oh, Justin, call it AD street clothes. Calling AD street clothes. Oh, yeah. Correct cuts. You got a topper here. Terry got 40 wins for the Rockets. He got 40. See, correct cuts? He got 40. Somebody else has 42. No. Who was it? We had a Rocket fan last night. I got to go back and watch it. Somebody said 50. Someone said 50. And everybody else was like, what are you drinking? 50, yeah, 50 and 32. And I was like, oh my goodness. And clearly, if the Rockets win 50 games, Ime Udoka is coach of the year. No doubt. No question. If the Rockets win 50 games this first year, Ime's coach of the year. Keep in mind, Tony said 42. I knew somebody, but somebody else said that. Somebody said 50. Oh, see, Derek Gomes, he's steering me back down that family. He's taking me back down that road. But see, correct cuts. Tony says 42. So you got a 42 and a 40. Derek, I'll see that comment and reply. Terry says if the Rockets only get 30, that's a failed season. Steven says 40. All right. We'll see. Jayamon says, I think most people lying to themselves. They say they'd be happy with anything less than 40. I'd be, well, I'm not a fan. So 36, I think would be a success. I mean, that's a 14-win improvement. You got to lose a lot of games, do that. Fickle fans will 36 wins. And they'll be competitive. They should be. No. They will be competitive. 40, Tillman, I mean, that's 4 wins, 36 to 40. It's improvement. Terry says less than 30 is a failure. Less than 30, yeah. Yeah, I'd say 30 would be kind of bad. Yes. Ooh, party. What the same. Ooh, how should I phrase this? Me and Charles hung out at 2 different places. Me and Cato was at one spot. So let's see. I'm gonna shift gears. Shift gears just for a moment. To answer this question from my guy, my dude, Derek. Do I think the Pistons will build up to the bad boys? Be nice. I don't see that though. Like I said, it's one of the best teams in league history. So no. Troy Weaver, he wants to get the team to be tough physically and mentally like the bad boys were. And trying to restore. That's the reason for how they're phrasing. They're not rebuilding, reloading. They're trying to restore the glory of the bad boy teams. I think players like Arthur Thompson and Marcus Sasser, guys who play defense, tough guys, are getting there. Isaiah Stewart. So they are building and bringing in guys who like to play defense and who are physical players. So they're getting there. But I like Cade Cunningham, but there ain't no Isaiah Thomas on this team. And there ain't no Joe Dumars either. So no. Nope. Mo was not there. He was not. No, Mo, me and Mo not hang out. No. How many? Oh, okay. Here's a question. How many teams are worse than the Rockets? That was a good question. Oh, let's see. Spurs. I think the Blazers will be once they trade. I think they will be even with Dame. I think the Rockets will have a better record than Detroit. Barely, but I think they will. Charlotte. Oh, let's see. Who else? Help me out here. The Kings turned the corner. Pacers did as well. OKC and the Rockets will start catching up to OKC. I think OKC might take a step back a little. But correct Cut's point is legit. The Rockets are going to improve. But, I mean, good grief, there's a whole bunch of other teams that will improve as well. Or on paper should improve also. I'm doing both, Steven. So answer how you want to answer. Teams in the West first. Spurs for sure. Spurs for sure should be worse than the Rockets. No doubt. Ooh. Oh, J-Mon wouldn't. Thinks Rockets should be better than San Antonio, Portland, New Orleans, Minnesota, and the Lakers. Whoa, I don't know about that. I disagree with that for sure. Minnesota, Ant. That's my answer to that. Ant. No. Orlando Rockets. I think so. I think Rockets have a better record than Orlando this year. I think, I can go with that. So Spurs, Portland, Charlotte, Orlando, and Detroit. But worst teams, I think those three right there. Spurs, Portland, and Charlotte. See, Deverick. There you go, Deverick. I first saw Ben Wallace play when he was a sophomore at Virginia Union. Didn't know who he was. And I was like, who is this man getting every rebound? Who is this guy? So, that's going to happen, Justin. I think NBA will be part of the next media rights deal. Let's see. NBA, ESPN/ABC, Turner, and then probably a streaming platform. So that's a lot. Wow. The Bulls could be worse than the Rockets. That's possible. Hell, if Rockets win 40 or more games, I'm not sure the Bulls can get to that level. Utah, well, Steven's got 40 wins. So let's see. Spurs, Jazz, Magic, Hornets, OKC, Portland, Pacers. Steve, I noticed you didn't say Detroit. That's interesting. Tony says not sure about the Lakers. LeBron's still on the Lakers, man. I mean, the team is better. Personnel is better than it was last year. For much of last year. J-Mon, we need a couple of players in our young core to take that leap this year. Agreed. And if it's three of them, if it's Jabari, Al P, and Jalen, if all three of them take a leap, then the Rockets might be at 40 wins or more. I mean, heck, if all three of them do that. I forgot about the Raptors. Yeah, I think so too. Raptors as well. Oh, correct cuts, man. Oh, man. Salute, Deverick. Thank you very much, man. Salute to you. Cheers. Cheers to you. Good old got a buddy watching on the Houston Roundball review. Gave me the thumbs up. Cheers, Cyril. Appreciate that, man. All right, we're almost going 90 minutes strong here. Excellent. Appreciate that. Oh, let me see. February. When am I going to do in February's show? Tomorrow I'm going to do it tomorrow. So 6 o'clock, going to do Folks Talking Sports, and then probably 9 o'clock. 8:30, 9 o'clock, we'll do another Let's Talk Houston Rockets, and we'll take a look at the Rockets schedule in February. And then Monday, do March, and then Tuesday, do April, and then we'll wrap it up. So it's all good there. So thank you very much to everybody, and much, much appreciation to Deverick. Clearly, he has zoomed to the charts and knew how to bring a smile to my face talking about the bad boys. So salute to him, as always. In fact, I'm going to get on Correct Cut's nerves. Deverick, this is for you. One more time. So tune in tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you can receive notifications. And you'll know what time tomorrow's show will begin. But I'm aiming for 8:30, 9 o'clock, around there. And we will discuss the Rockets and their games in February. And since the Rockets don't play Detroit in February, we shouldn't have too much discussion about the Detroit Pistons, unless Deverick wants to do so. If he does, great. So thank you very much. As always, everybody, Correct Cuts, Steven, Justin, X-Ray, Tony M, Jamon, Deverick, of course. Let's see. Anybody else? I don't want to forget anybody. My friend who texted me, she didn't comment, but thank you as well for watching. Cyril, thank you for watching. Spread the word about the Houston Roundball review. Spread the word about Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Subscribe to that channel. Yes, the channel will also include some clips from Houston Cougars practice like I did today in shorts, but more and more of those clips will be on the Folks Talking Sports platforms on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Got to build up the audience for those. So everybody, thank you for taking time out of your schedules and your lives to chop it up with me and talking hoops. It's always good to talk hoops. Until Sunday night, you guys take care. Peace.